A job guarantee is an unconditional job offer to anyone who wants to work at a socially inclusive federal minimum wage. It provides a buffer stock of jobs which would ebb and flow with the private sector activity, such that when the private sector is strong, the job guarantee pool would be very small, and when the private sector is weak, as it is now, the job guarantee pool would expand to make sure that people didn't go into unemployment, but provided them with income security with work up to the hours of their choosing. At the moment, when the private sector activity is weak, workers are pushed into unemployment with devastating consequences. There are massive income losses arising from unemployment, plus all of the attendant personal costs and family costs and community costs. The superior alternative is to make sure that when the non-government sector activity levels are weak, as they are now, that workers have an option to maintain an attachment with the workforce, maintain some sort of income security so that they're ready to go back into the non-government employment when the economy is stronger. The devastation of unemployment is one of the worst things that a society can endure. It devastates families, communities, individuals, and the economy is forced to endure massive losses of foregone output and income. A job guarantee reduces those losses, maintains people in employment, maintains income security, and provides people with a pathway out of the devastation of unemployment. The current crisis induced by the health pandemic is the worst economic crisis that Australia has endured since the 1930s. It's arguable whether it's even worse than the 1930s, given the uncertainty surrounding the health crisis and how long it will take to come out of that. A job guarantee would work by the government making the announcement, setting up the infrastructure and creating structures within the various levels of government to fund at the federal level and organise and supervise at the more local level, where communities can identify unmet community need, unmet environmental care needs and unmet local infrastructure needs. In that context, a worker would be employed by the federal government and assigned to projects that have been well worked out and well designed on an ongoing basis within their local communities. The job guarantee takes jobs to where people live and in that sense is able to keep communities together, especially regional and more remote communities. There's plenty of work to be done in those communities. If there are work opportunities, it means that young people don't have to migrate to cities in search of work. A job guarantee delivers massive benefits relative to the alternative of unemployment. We not only avoid substantial income losses by having people working rather than not working, but we also avoid all of the other losses that accompany unemployment, such as the burdens on the mental health system, the hospital system, the family court system, the other court systems, because we know crime rates rise due to unemployment, which arises from the poverty that induces. It also delivers massive benefits in terms of effective training environments and ongoing attachment to the workforce. We've done surveys of local governments to identify unmet community need, unmet environmental care need and unmet local infrastructure needs. There were hundreds of thousands of jobs identified in that survey that add to community wellbeing and which job guarantee workers would be able to provide wellbeing to communities. Other countries have various arrangements in place that have had similar characteristics to a job guarantee. For example, the National Rural Employment Guarantee in India has employed millions of rural workers to stop them migrating to the cities in search of opportunities, to avoid the congestion of their urban centres, which have created a number of very productive jobs in rural areas where there would normally not be employment created. Local infrastructure development, drains, roads, footpaths, other infrastructure. In South Africa, the Expanded Public Works Program has employed millions of workers to redress the disadvantages in the townships, building basic infrastructure and other amenities to impoverished communities.